on, guys? Nick Mathias here. This is Change the Rules, where we challenge the status quo to push sports culture upward. I'm here with my peoples, Dom and Dorian. Say what's up to everybody.
What up?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Got a good one
I'm
today.
pumped about it, guys. I'm pumped. If you didn't catch it last week, we were short of Dorian, but me and Dom still crushed it, so go check that out on our YouTube. We'll have the link below. And for today's first segment, we're going to hop right into it. The draft is coming up, guys, tomorrow night. The NFL draft, that is. Remind me what your guys' favorite teams are.
I'm boring. I don't have a favorite team. Like I just watch games and stuff like that. But the only thing I'm gonna watch in the draft actually, is the 49ers. Like I can't get over the fact that he actually got like Jimmy G as a QB, and now they want to get a new one. Like I don't understand like how the NFL goes around like where you have a QB that you pay about like 100 million, and then you like get me. I'm gonna get that new guy that's like a rookie, and he's gonna be like holding everything like for our team. It's gonna be from Alabama. It's gonna be Mac stuff. And I'm like, what? Whatever. Like, I don't understand this like at all. So I'm gonna be watching just like that pick.
Yeah. And I'm a Who Dat fan over here, so Saints all the way. Trying to see what we're gonna do at that quarterback position, because
Run
look,
it
we
back.
lost our star, but I also think it was time to go. So I'm happy that he's gone, but I'm interested to see what we do moving forward.
I'm hoping, honestly, I think we need also Who Dat Nation, guys, if you didn't know, number one super fan over here. Got to put it
Yes,
out there.
sir.
Cam Jordan has retweeted some of my stuff. Demario Davis has retweeted some of my stuff. Hope to get him on here one day.
Wow.
That would be great. But I'm hoping we go defense, strengthen up whoever we got at quarterback. I think with a good defense, we'll be able to lock it down and be able to put ourselves in a good situation to win games. Hoping, honestly, for Asante Samuel Jr. I don't know if he'll fall that late into the draft because we're in the deeper 20s, but that's my hopeful pick for that,
Yeah.
guys.
Who's that?
Asante Samuel Jr.
We got to get it
the
done.
the cornerback.
Yeah, is that a guy for
No,
Alabama?
I'm pretty sure he plays for
Oh no,
Florida
okay.
State. Um, but anyway, his
What's the name of the there's a wide receiver actually in Alabama that looks really good like last year. I don't know what his name, but he
Devontae
was like
Smith.
crushing it like as a
That's
wide receiver.
Smith.
That's Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is he on in the draft?
yeah. He's
Yeah.
going. He's projected like a top 10 pick. He's the
Yeah.
number one wideout. He won the Heisman.
Okay, that's pretty.
Oh, Jamar Chase from LSU, boy, get it right.
He's the best. He's a freak. I think he's the. I think he's the best receiver in this draft. Even though he sat out this past season, he was a freak on that 2019 LSU squad, and they had everybody. So, I mean, you see what his partner is doing in
Yeah,
the league right now, in Justin Jefferson with the Vikings.
exactly.
So, and personally, I thought Jamar Chase was the
Yep.
better of the two, but that's just me. We'll
Exactly.
wait and see how he does. Hopefully he does
But
well.
Nick, do you feel that it's like the QB frenzy over there? Like I've been like it's been like 2 months that all I hear is about like QB. Like what's up with the NFL? I never understood NFL. Like would they go like crazy on some stuff now for the last past 10 years? It's on all QB. Like people like they have a QB and they try to like have a QB like more like I'm like what is up with this? Like is it the Philly effect where they had like two QB in one team and actually one got hurt and then like they went with
Honest,
Nick Fall because right now like Philly they don't have like Nick Fall and they don't have the whole QB like both QBs are from the from the Super Bowl are
right,
gone. So
right.
like I don't understand all the NFL works.
Yeah, listen, man, the quarterback position is regarded as the number one top dog position in my opinion, in all the sports. For some reason, the media and like the NFL places a mass importance on the quarterback spot, and so they're constantly looking to improve themselves and get better year in and year out because that's what the league is doing. So they're always looking for that next step up, that next edge. And when they see a really talented guy that they like, a lot of teams are willing to drop that first round pick on them, regardless of what they have already. Now, there's some quarterbacks that you see, like franchise all time guys, that obviously there's no need to go ahead and draft another quarterback. But in this day and age, if you're not one of those top five, top seven guys, most more than likely your team is going to be looking to get better and improve at whatever position they feel they need to. And we see this year in and year out.
But talk to me about Jimmy G. Like I don't understand the Jimmy G situation. I thought that Jimmy was like a top 10 like quarterback in the league. Like he was like under like Tom Brady. They wanted to keep him. Like at some point Tom Brady was like, nah, if you keep him, I'm gone. Then they trade Jimmy G. Then he had a great season. He got an injury, like a freak injury, like on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I remember. And then next thing you know, like I'm on ESPN and they're like trading up to get like somebody else. I'm like, you have a QB. Explain to me like the Jimmy G situation. I don't understand at all.
Well, yeah, it's crazy, man. So, like you said, originally from the Patriots in New England, and he was getting that development and training from Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, the GOAT himself. And there was a rift in between, if I remember correctly, um, a management and players and coaching and the upper level of the business, if you will, the owners, the GMs, amongst those caliber of people. And one set of people wanted Jimmy G to be the future because they didn't think Tom Brady had that many years left in him, which was, you know, a little bit far fetched at the time because I believe he was coming off of back to back Super Bowls. So I'm not really understanding their logic there. But,
Yeah.
the guy was 15, 16 years in the league then. So I could see them looking forward in the best interest of the franchise. With that being said, the situation played out how it did. And Jimmy G got traded to San Fran, had a great year, blew his ACL out, I do believe, and then he came back. I don't know if he's
Yep.
not all the way healthy or what, but he just had a bad end of this last season, and injury was a really big part of it. All right, guys, moving forward, Dom is back with his crazy takes and fixes, trying to get us and all the sports that we love elevated to a pure level. So, Dom, let us know what you have for us this week.
I text you about that. I wanted your mind to be prepared to it. Okay, is I believe that sport. Okay, and I don't talk about like quarters or like period like in hockey or stuff like that. Okay, that's okay. I just believe that sports should not be stopped. Okay, when you play a sport, let's say soccer, rugby, basketball, football, hockey, you should not be allowed to stop the game and do timeouts and stuff like that. Okay, I believe that let's say you I researched that actually on the Naismith, my friend Canadian Naismith, no timeouts were allowed like in a basketball game like before. But then at some point in our life, like we decided that we should like put timeouts in, and I don't know why. Like why you like first like that's my first question to you because there's a multiple layer that I want to talk to you about that. But why do you think that we actually put timeouts in sports? Because some sports like soccer, which is something that's really popular actually, doesn't have timeouts. What do you think?
So,
What do you think, Dorian? Why did you put like timeouts in games? Or yeah, go ahead, Nick.
I was just going to say, personally, I think that the game has elevated in terms of strategic and strategy wise, that in certain situations of a game, teams may think that they need to talk to their players, or coaches may think they need to talk to their players because they need to implement a change in their game plan on the fly. Like they don't have the ability, or it will severely hinder the outcome of the game if they don't make that change right now. To me, that's kind of like, let's say you're in man-to-man defense in basketball, and your the opponent is just on a higher skill level than you, and each time they're coming down scoring the basket, and to not have the ability to just you know communicate with your players on what play style they need to change into to stop that from happening may blow a 20-point lead. You know what I mean? So that I think that the strategy
But
of the game.
before Dorian gets in on that, Yeah, but before like Dorian's stepping on that, like I saw like let's say in football, okay, I can say to Nick, hey Nick, come over here. All right, you're gonna go in like in the next auto, and you're gonna say that to the team right now. All right, go ahead, boom. Okay, Dorian, yeah, come in. On the next free throw, you're coming in, and I want everybody to come in and say we're gonna switch it our thing. Like we don't need actually to call you a timeout to say we're going zone. Like we're practicing all week, so that's like I don't get it.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying for sure, Dom. My only thing to it is you know how well basketball more so is a game of runs than football. But so in basketball somebody's on like a 10-0 run, a 15-0 run, you know that a timeout can stop the run or that a timeout can ice a shooter, ice the kicker whenever they're trying to do field goals in football. So I think, like you said, for certain instances, they should have like maybe a smaller amount of timeouts, but definitely not like six timeouts a half like they have in basketball. You know, like in the NBA, in the WNBA, they have a lot of timeouts every half. Maybe not that many, but in certain moments, they can be able to have those timeouts to stop a run or to draw the end of the game play. Yeah, you practice that kind of stuff, but it's still different.
Do you
whenever
feel,
you get
Dorian,
to game
that
time.
it's and that's part of one of my points actually as a coach actually, and as a player. Don't you feel it's a skill though, as a basketball player, to be able to stop that kind of run? Because I remember when I was a player, okay, I was that kind of player that like we went to the opposite like gymnasium and stuff like that, and it was like hostile environment. And when they made a run, like people like, hey Dom, like take us, like do something right now, call that right play because you're the point guard, and do like that was my skill. Like, and I believe that actually, if you're a I believe let's say NBA, I do believe it's like those guys, like they have the skills. Like you talk a lot about like Chris Paul and stuff like that. I do believe that there's no way in hell that Chris Paul needs a timeout to actually run the right play for it, like the teams right now, because and that's a skill.
Yeah.
And that's my point about like the basketball. I believe that if we don't put timeouts, the guys like Chris Paul, the guys with higher leadership skill, are going to be able to be the best player in the NBA and be recognized as the best player in the NBA. And right now is like always like a game of coaching and stuff like that. So like we cut the game to, and we don't like let people be great basketball player. And that like actually that came like this thing actually is not from me. Actually, it was from Phil Jackson back in the day. I was reading a lot of his book. It actually pushed me to be like a better player and a better coach and actually invent a sport, because I saw that he was talking about like he never called timeout to cut a run like in basketball. That's not what he did, because he believed that in the long run of a season, the players must learn to actually cut the run themselves and say to talk. It's not true that the game doesn't stop in basketball. If you look at the game in basketball, it stops all the time. Like the ball goes out of bounds. There's a foul every 2 plays in basketball right now. Like they're going to the free throw every I think every 3, like maybe every 3 like offensive position they go to the free throws. Like it's like crazy. So you have this capacity to actually huddle and say, hey guys, we need to buck it up. Like we need to like go on that defense, trap this thing. And I don't know. Like there's a lot of stuff you can do. You remember like playing like Dorian in that huddle that you do like with the players at the free throws. There's a lot of stuff you can do over there. So I believe that's what I believe I think, and that's my point. Like for one of my point for this is I believe that we are being naive about the timeout rule as a group, as individual, like in our society, in sports. It's only there for me. I think it's only there for 2 reasons. Okay, it's there for TV. Okay, we want timeouts for TV reason. Okay, and that's why the European soccer, they don't do it. Okay, because they have like the sports a bit as a higher ground of purity over there, and also we do it to protect the stars. Okay, we actually want the stars to play more, and I believe that that's wrong for the game. I believe we should have the star play less. LeBron James should not be able to play 45 minutes in the game. I think it should go around like 35, and that you actually have to have a better team actually. And right now, the caliber of the players in the WNBA and the NBA is so high, like for like from 1 to 12, that I believe that we should see more of the what so-called like bench players, and that without like the timeouts, more bench players are coming in, and that's like I think that's gonna be better for the game. So that's my first layer. What do you think, Mick? You hear like shaking your head.
I can understand what you're saying. That
you like timeouts?
I don't mind timeouts. I like when the coaches are mic'd up to hear what they're talking about in the timeouts. I feel like it gives me an informative approach to the game that I might not get from just the commentator side. Um, I also, yeah, I do. I really do like not only when the coaches are mic'd up on the sidelines, but when the players are, and you get that interaction. You feel like you're a part of the team,
Mhm.
especially with the camera work and the footage that we get now. I mean, they have the cameras literally right in the middle of the huddle, and you see the plays that are drawn up. I also think that in terms of giving the players a break, that it's somewhat necessary. And if I have also a counter proposal to whatever you have to say to amend this rule, just for you to, I just want to see what you think about it anyway. Because if there's going to be no timeouts, then I think that it's doable. But in my head, then I would cut the quarters in half again to give that be a timeout. So instead of having, what is it, 4 12-minute quarters in
I
the
like that.
NBA, maybe like you have like 8 6 quarters. I mean, college does the halves, so I don't really see why a different fraction matters. Um, so
Yeah,
that
I like
that's
that.
my
I like that a lot
that's my
actually,
counter
because
proposal.
I think I yeah, and I'll tell you why I like that. I like that. Okay, because the timeout things like normally if you cut timeouts for both teams, they're both gonna have the same trouble in the game. Okay, so it's not like just one team doesn't have the timeouts. Like both teams don't have the timeouts. If you put it into that times zone, I think it's proper because you say, okay, guys, girls, we have until the clock goes down to figure it out. Okay, we just have to figure it out, and there's no coaching that's supposed to be able to say, oh, we're gonna draw a play. Drawing a play in basketball, seriously, like it's ludicrous. Like they all know the plays. Okay, just call the plays. Okay, and you can sub as much as you want in basketball. Okay, so it's not like I'm not telling you you have to keep the same players actually on the field. You actually can stop the play in basketball every time down because you can. Hey, I have a sub. Oh, I have another sub. I have a sub. So you're always subbing in basketball. It's not like in soccer when you only can sub like 2 times. Like you can sub whatever you want. So I believe that the fact what you're saying would be like perfect for also the viewers also because there's more flow to the game. Right now the flow is terrible. And I don't like the end game also like in basketball because of the timeouts. Like sometimes like I know like 1 out of like 10 times you have a great buzzer beater, but I'll tell you the best buzzer beater this year was probably Gonzaga. Jalen Suggs actually they inbounded the ball to him. No timeouts was called by Coach Few, and he just dribble, and then shoot it. Those are probably the best thing ever in sports. Okay, when you just like go around and you just play, and I believe that actually we would have like more of that instinct play and stuff like that, and less of the plays that are called by the coach. And most of the time, like I think I don't have the stats, but like the end of the game plays, I don't think they have a great like the coach. They don't have a great like feel for the game on that stuff. Like it's mostly just like, hey, give the ball to our best player. Yeah. I know you're gonna give the ball to the best player. Most of them like they don't play. It's not like great play callers that much. You have to hit that shot anyway. So I just believe that. But I do believe that your quarter stuff, like put it in 8 like part would be like perfect. Like for me, I think that would be like perfect for the sport and. That would be like your natural timeouts also for the sponsors. What and how do you feel about like just like the normal rule that you have right now. That's not the FIBA rule actually. That's just NBA and NCAA that you can do that. That you can actually call a timeout right now on the field. So because you're not allowed to do that in FIBA rule, like Olympics and stuff like that, on the court. So I think right now, like, it's bailing out the offense like too much, like, and we see it in football too, where you're in trouble and then you call timeout. Like I don't like it, like when you can call timeout on the sideways and stuff like that, like between you can't inbound the ball, so you call timeouts, or you come trapped. The worst thing as a basketball player, you trap them, you got him where you want, and then timeout, timeout. It's like, what? Like, that's bailout.
Yeah. Like to me in those instances anyway, because there's something that I think about a lot too, is the fact that when there's a jump ball, like that the ball that it's like possession arrows, right? I know for that's like younger, but I know when you go to like NBA, then obviously they do a jump ball, actual jump ball for it. I don't like the jump ball rule because I feel like if the defense causes you to get a jump ball, then the ball needs to go to the defense. That's just automatic. But then when you think about that, whenever basketball players and teams are practicing, they do that anyway. Like if you're scrimmaging and the defense gets a jump ball, then the defense gets the ball. That's how it is in practice. But then in the game, that's not how it is.
And Nick, like, let's do the same like practice with football. Like football have timeouts. They're the most ridiculous thing ever because they don't use it, because they don't have to use it, and they only use it when they need it at the end of the game. So basically, like, you have 30 seconds to call a play, like, and they like timeouts. That's incredible. Like, don't call time. That's not that cannot be like. Sometimes the QB is like, I don't like what I see on in front of me. I don't care. Just play. It's just one play. Just throw the ball.
I don't know personally.
What's the
about
use?
That.
Tell me, Nick. What's the use of a timeout in football?
Well, the way I see it is because, let's say, okay, a lot of the times the pre-snap timeouts either call from a miscommunication via quarterback and the players, miscommunication from the coach to the quarterback, or like you said, the quarterback doesn't like what he saw on defense. But a lot of the times, I see the pre-snap timeouts from a quarterback who is going through his reads. He looks up, sees that the play clock's at 1, and is like, oh, snap. Let me not take this 5-yard penalty. Let me just use a timeout, which I don't mind. It does.
Why do we bail it?
Why do we bail him out? I don't know.
Yeah. 5 yards. Really get out.
I don't know. Why do we bail out defenses when at the end of a game when the offense is trying to get a first down and they can call timeouts to stop the clock?
I don't think they should. Like I just don't think like you should like stop there's no actual like meaning to stop the play. Like when you think about it, there's just no, like, you have 30 seconds to call your play. And in football, it's incredible because you have like 4 down to do, like 4 plays to do your down. So I don't care that you're like they're making a big fuzz about like, oh, I don't want to lose like 5 yards. Like, I don't care.
That's big, though.
Like do better on the next play. That's not that big.
I'm telling you.
That's like Aaron Rodgers. That's one throw. That's one throw for him. Like 5 yards. Like
listen.
like
There's
easy.
A saying in football: inches. The game is won by inches. So 5 yards is a lot.
Yeah, I know, but I know it's a lot, but you're not allowed to do that all game long. Okay, you can't take timeouts all game long. So why should we allow you to take a timeout at this time?
I can agree with you.
That's what I mean. It's just like
if you want to lessen them, like maybe only give them one timeout per half. I could maybe agree with that because that means you have to be more, more sharp, make sure you execute everything more precisely. Make sure you're getting things right on the first time, more meticulous.
But basically, in football,
if you just gave them one timeout.
But basically, in football, they just use it to, but basically they just use it for that 2-minute drill. That, like, when you think about it, like, those timeouts are there most of the time. They just use it because they're down three, and they want to get to that line, and it's like a 2 minute drill for the QB and stuff like that, and offensive. It's mostly that like when you think about it, like that's why you use your timeouts.
Yeah, I think I think that's a large percentage of what timeouts are used for. Also, I just think that, like you said too, with the commercial breaks and everything like that, and the flow of the game, I just think that this is what people are accustomed to.
Yeah, I know. I know that, but like at some point, it's just like in basketball, it's just tiresome. So, and I was coaching actually back in the days, and I was like, when I
Uh,
was practicing stuff, there's some stuff that I did was like, all right, man, I don't care about this thing. We're not gonna do subs. Like we're gonna do Aki subs though. So when you want to sub like in our 5-on-5, you actually at the center of the gym, and we're not like taking you like we're not stopping the play to sub. All you have to do is tag someone at the center, and then he comes in, and that's it. So and that it actually works like better than people think. Like to sub the Aki sub actually
mhm.
works really well because
That's interesting.
the Aki sub is something that people don't talk about like in sports. It's one of the nicest things. So let's say you have a point guard that dribbling the ball and you want to sub Nick. I want you to sub. You just go to the center, tag someone, and then the new player comes in, and that's it. You don't need like the referee to whistle and stuff like that. Like you just play, and it's just like I know we used to it, but I don't think that it's a big thing actually to change in the game. But they'll never do it. They'll never do that kind of sub in
That's
NBA and stuff like that. I know they're not going to do it. But I just feel it's it's not
that
that
type of
dumb.
sub is what's used in lacrosse. I remember in high school, when you want to switch, you just
Yeah,
run to the box, and there's somebody already waiting for you, and you pretty much tag out. I think there's an official there to see you, but that's pretty much what you do. You just tag out. So it's not that.
works
Yeah,
well.
I think.
I saw that in lacrosse
Yeah,
too.
I was going to say. I think if it's done right, it can be used effectively because then you would be able to rotate offensive and defensive players in between sets and in between, you know, different type of offenses, or if you were trying to lock in on defense, if you're trying to get your shooters out there, if you're trying to get a big off the
Yeah,
court, and those type of things.
that'd be
So
nice.
I think it's good.
Hey Nick, we should move like right now to the Knicks corner because I see the times going right now, and our sponsor is not gonna have it if we go like too long.
Okay. All right.
So,
Cool. All right.
are we good for the Nick corner? Because I have my pure finish too. Like,
Oh, good. Yeah, I am ready. So basically, guys, if you've been tuning in with us every week, this is the part of the show where it's Nick's Corner, where I highlight and spotlight some athletes and some organizations that have been doing good for the community and taking their talents and using their platform for something more than sports. So this week, I know it was a couple months ago, but we are spotlighting the teams in Houston for the freezes and the all the bad weather they were having and the shutdown and all of the power outages, all that good stuff. There was an effort by almost all the sporting organizations in the team in the state. You had the Houston Texans, the Rockets, and you also had the Astros. All the organizations and the players contributing not only money but also time to help the situation. So keep it nice and short. Thank you to those guys. Shout out to them. We always love it when we see athletes go above and beyond what they can do on the court or on the field, and that's what rightfully gets you spotlighted on Nick's corner.
it's all good. Now it's time for the pure finish. Nick, I got a question, pure finish for you. I want to have your thought on having only like 16 making it to the playoff this year per conference in the NBA, and actually they only have the six reserve spot, and then after that it's a battle for 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Listen, man,
What you think
I'll
about
let
that?
you know that those playing games and those playing tourneys are heating up right now. I got to tell you, the way the are you guys familiar with how the playing situation works?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So it's crazy. The with the seven playing the eight for to secure that seven spot, and then the winner of that playing the winner of the 9 and 10 seed. It's crazy. If you look at the teams in the Western Conference that are that 7 through 10, inside that I think you have the Trailblazers, the Warriors, the Spurs, and the Grizzlies. I don't know really if
Yeah.
I would want to be any of those teams playing Steph Curry in a single game elimination for a spot. We all seen what he can do. Dame is also crazy in one game. They've been struggling as a team as of late, but I don't know. In a one game, I'm not doubting him. So in the East, it's also getting a little crazy out there. The the bottom, I believe 5 through 12 or something like that, are within I think like a 5 game stretch of each other. So yeah, I'm still waiting to see who's going to shape up and be in there. But I like the way that they have it. I
And,
at first
and
I
do you?
didn't think it was fair, but
Yeah.
now I do, because I was misinformed on how it was going to work before. But I do like how it is now.
Oh wow. So okay, and last question for me. Talking about some teams in a kind of a bubble right now that we don't know if they're gonna make the sixth spot or what kind of a game they're gonna have in the West Coast. I saw the Warriors play yesterday. Okay, and I only saw like one quarter. I was like, what's going on right now? They only score. Yeah, but they only scored like
Y'all
12
saw,
points in the first quarter. And I was like, wow. And actually, I saw the today, and I'm gonna read it to you. Okay, I saw like
y'all
the
saw what my
Draymond Green
Mavericks
stat
did.
line from yesterday. Okay, okay, listen to this. Okay, Draymond Green yesterday had 20 minutes of play. Okay, he only took like one shot all game. One 3-pointer was 0 for 1. No free throws. No offensive rebound. 11 rebound on defense. And like 3 assists and a couple of steals,
Mm.
couple of blocks, 6 turnovers, 0 points, 0 points. So my question to you today, because I know like he's a good like defender and stuff like that, but is Draymond Green an elite basketball player?
Elite? No. He's still a great defender and a good basketball player. He's not elite. I would not say he's elite. Um,
Oh, you know I was about to go crazy. I was saying how I look at that in two different ways. One, how I gauge a Hall of Fame player to say that they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame is if I take this player and I put them on any team in the NBA, in the WNBA, are they still going to do the same thing that they're doing on the team that they're with now? Secondly, the defensive talk. I'm sorry, but I don't know. I don't think I understand who are great defenders in the league anymore because we praise certain players for being good defenders, and then I watch the games and they still getting 20 and 30 dropped on their head. So how is that good? Are they good defender because they guard the other team's best players all the
Nick,
time, or are they actually good defenders? That's my conflict with.
no, I can't. As of right now, if he ends his career today, I can't say that. Mm-mm. The Hall of Fame, you gotta freak the league for a while. I'm not gonna lie. You can't be the you can't always be the
like the
third
only
best
player
player
that I
on your
saw
team.
like this what was like maybe like a guy like Dennis Rodman who really like influenced the game. But I think when I saw like Dennis, it was really different. Like offensive rebound, he was huge. He was a monster on offensive rebound and stuff like that. So and he was really different. Like it's not the same though. But I don't like for me. I don't feel you can be like a defender in basketball. Like you have to play both ways.